So next we will move on to the topic of Android UI controls. So here the Android user interface controls are those components of Android so that are used to design the user interface in a more interactive way. It helps us to develop the application that makes the user interactions between the view components. And the Android provides us a huge range of user interface controls of many types such as buttons, text views, etc. So, as we know, the user interface is the only thing that the user interacts with within the applications. So, this is the reason so that we make our applications look aesthetic and more connective. To do so, we need to add the user interface controls or we say the input controls in the respective applications. We will see some important Android UI controls for our applications. Okay. So, we have so many Android user interface controls are there. Few are listed here. The first one is text view, edit text, button, image button, toggle button, radio group, checkbox, auto complete text view, progress bar, spinner, time picker, date picker, seek bar, alert dialog, then switch, then we have a rating bar. So, these all are the very important user interface controls. Now, we will understand the different Android user interface controls one by one with the example. Okay? And the first one is text view. The text view is a user interface component that displays the text to the user on their display screen. Okay? So, next we will see about how to create this kind of the text view. Okay? So, there are two different methods are there. So, the first method is through the XML layout file. Okay? So, let us see what is an XML layout file. Okay? So, it is a file stored in the res folder and the layout. Under the res folder we will have a layout. Okay? So, under this layout we will have a file so with the extension of XML. Okay? So, here we have to type our text. Then here in this particular example we are saving this particular code in the name of activity main.xml. Okay? So, it describes how the user interface should look like buttons, text, images and arrangements. So, we can create all this user controls on the screen. Okay. So, now the Android uses this XML to render the user interface when an activity runs. Okay. Then we have in this particular code, so first two segments are root element. Okay. So, it is also called as a linear layout. Okay. So, in this linear layout, we have a layout that arranges its children horizontally or vertically. Okay. Then next codes are XML code. Okay. So, XML is Android and HTTP schema android.com.apk res android. Okay. So, this line declare the XML namespace. Okay. So, it allows us to use the Android attributes like Android layout, width and text. Okay. So, think of it is telling the XML where to find the definition of these attributes. Okay. Then third one is child element. Okay. So, actually this representing the text view. So, here the text view is about a user interface element for displaying the text. Okay. So, next we have a code for height and width. Okay. So, next code is wrap content size. Okay. So, here the size is just enough to fit the text. Then next match parent. So, this line will fill the entire available space. Okay. Then finally, we have a Android text. Okay. So, this line is telling about the actual text shown in that screen. Okay. Then next one is Android text size. So, this is about size of the text like scale we have to given here. At the same time the pixels also can be given in this particular line. Then next one is a closing tag. Okay. So, here we have to close all the tag. Every layout must be closed. If it has a children like a linear, we have started with the linear layout code, then here we have to close with the / linear layout. Okay. So, if it is a self-contained like a text view, so that also must be closed. Okay, so text view also must be closed. Then again, already I told that two ways, using this two ways we can create the file, right? The one is by using the XML file, and another way is activity file. Okay, so now we are going to see about how to create this kind of the view using this activity file. Okay, so in this we declare it using this set text method. Okay, so what is set text method? So the first is about set content view. See the first line of the code, set content view. Within the bracket, we have given the parameters of our layout.activity main. Okay, so this line tells the Android use activity main.xml as the user interface for this activity. The next r.layout activity main. Okay, so this line refers to the XML file in res layout activity main.xml. Okay, so without this, the screen will be the blank one, no user interface controls will be there. Okay, then second option is linear layout. So here also, so we have to set the root element. Okay, so in this the linear layout name is equivalent to linear layout. Okay, so in this particular line, find view build. Okay, so this line finds the linear layout you defined in the XML file. Okay, the next line is find view build. Okay, so here we have given a r.id and parameters has been given in the bracket. So this line looks up the view by its ID. Okay, so now linear layout name in the Java refers to the same layout. So we can add the child views programmatically. Okay, then a third line is a text view. Okay, so here we are given a text view name. Okay, so this line creates a new text view object in the code instead of defining it as a XML. Okay, and so this line refers to the current activity context which required when creating the user interface elements dynamically. Okay, then next line is text view name dot set text. Okay, so here we can give our text. So in this particular line we have given like a hello, I am a text view. Okay, so this will sets the text content of the text view. Okay, so which is equivalent to Android dot text. Okay, so which is in the XML already we have given the same line, but it is here it is in different format. So it is equivalent to Android dot text hello, I am in the text view in the XML. Okay, then so we have a linear layout name dot add view. Okay, so this particular line adds a newly created text view inside the linear layout. So now at the runtime, the text view will appear on the screen below any other views already in the layout. Okay, so there are various attributes to describe the text view and some of them are named below. Okay, so what are the attributes? First is Android ID. So it is a unique ID for the control. The next Android width. So it displays the exact width of the text view. Then next we have a height. So it displays the exact height of the text view. Then we have a text color. It sets the color of the text. Okay. Then gravity. So it is to align the text view. So there are some more attributes the above the major one. Some of the other attributes are also there. Then second option is edit text. Okay, so first we have seen about the text view. So next we'll see about edit text. Okay, so edit text is a user interface control that allow the users to enter some text. Okay, so here we can create it in the two ways. So as usual, so we can create through the XML file and the activity file. Okay, so first we'll see about how to create this edit text option in the XML file. Okay. So the first content is about the linear layout. So a container that arranges its children either vertically or horizontally. Okay. At the same time, the first lines are same only. So like XMLNS, Android and XML. So this will be used for namespace declarations and it is required in every root layout tag. Okay. Then afterwards we have a layout width and layout height. So this will define the size of the layout. and we have a match parent options. So, this will fill the parent container. Then we have a wrapped content. So, this will fit only the content size. Okay. Then orientations. So, this will define the layout directions in terms of vertical or horizontal. Okay. So, the first method we have seen, right. The second method is activity file. So, here the code demonstrates creating the edit test dynamically in an activity. So, instead of defining it in a XML and adding it to a linear layout. Okay. So, the first line is set content view. The same lines here also we are following. Then loads a user interface from the activity main.xml into the activity. This XML file should contain the linear layout with an ID, so it can be accessed programmatically. Then we have a linear layout. So, here we should give a linear layout ID also. So, this line will retrieve the linear layout defined in the XML. So, next linear layout name. So, now refers to this layout. So, this will allow us to add the views programmatically. Then we have a edit text options. So, here we have to give a edit text. So, this will create the new edit text object in a Java or Kotlin code. In this, here we are using the Kotlin language. So, this is an activity context required when creating the user interface elements dynamically. Then we have a edit text options. So, here actual edit text must be given within the bracket. So, this will set the placeholder text inside the edit text. So, which is equivalent to so Android data hint is equal to hello, I am edit text in XML. Then we have a linear layout lame. So, this line adds a newly created edit text to the linear layout at the runtime. So, without this, the edit text would exist in the memory but not be displayed. So, third component is button. So, this is a user interface. So, that is used to perform some action as soon as the user clicks on it. Okay. So, we can create it in the two ways. So, one is a XML file and another one is activity file. So, here so the code is describe adding the button inside the linear layout in the Android XML layout file. So, the linear layout will be the same, button declaration is a different one. Okay. So, already we have seen about the linear layout creations for edit text and text view. So, the same code has been used for the button creations also, right. So, now the button creation portions only we are going to discuss. Linear layout will be the same. So, for a button edit text and text view. So, button declaration is a different part. Actually, the button will create the clickable button in the user interface element. So, here the code Android :ID, it is a unique identifier to reference the button in the code. Then next line we have a Android text. So, this is about the text displayed on the button. Okay. Then we have a wrap content. So, this will make the button size fit its text. Okay. So, this is about the XML creations. Next we have a activity file creation. Okay. So, this code demonstrates how to create the button dynamically instead of defining it as a XML layout. Okay. So, let us explain step by step, and the first step is set content view. So, with the parameters we have given like r.layout activity main. Okay. So, this will load the user interface from the activity main XML into the activity. Okay. So, this XML must contain the linear layout with an ID, so we can add the views to it. Okay. Then second line is linear layout. Okay. So, here we are giving the layout name. Okay. So, we have a line of linear layout. Okay. So, here we have to give a name of the linear layout. So, this line will find the linear layout which is declared in the XML file. So, next we have to give a button name. Okay. So, using this line, button name is equal to new button. Okay. So, this line will create the new button object in the code. At the same time, so this provides a activity context which is required to create the user interface elements programmatically. Okay. Then next line is a button name and set text. Okay. So, here we have to give a text which is actually should be displayed on the button. Okay. Then, so this line will set the text displayed on the button. So, this line is equal to the line of Android.text is equal to hello, I am in button in the XML code. Okay. Then we have a linear layout name add view. Okay. So, because of this line, will add the button to the linear layout at the runtime. Okay. So, without this line, the button would not appear on the screen.